Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm here to share with you how I use my Hobonichi Cousin in 2022. So I just want to be clear right at the beginning that this is not my entire planning system, because that would include a lot more of things like other notebooks that I use, any other accessories that help me with the planning system. This is just specifically how I use my Hobonichi Cousin, which is my main planner, which includes everything except for work. Now, of course, I will share with you things that I specifically use in this planner. For example, the type of pens that I use, or stickers if I use any, or any other accessories that help me out specifically in this planner. So I hope this video helps you out, especially as we are at this point of the year where we are mid-year and we are thinking about planners for next year. And hopefully some of these thoughts help you out no matter which planner you are using, which planner company it may be. And similarly, I hope to get some help from you as well, because I would love to listen how you are using your planner this year. Because as long as it is any planner, it will have a monthly spread or a weekly or a daily spread, or it could be even a bullet journal. It will help as long as you share the ideas down here, and I would love to hear from you whether you were consistent with your planning style or you had to change it for some reason because of your life situation. Please share it down below and let us chat. So yeah, now let's begin with this video, which is likely to be very long because I will be going through each and every minor thing about how I use this planner this year. So let us begin. Now, the Hobonichi Cousin, like I said, is my main planner. It stays at home completely simply because I do not use this for work purposes. For work, I have a different planner. So this is a completely stay-at-home planner which remains open on my desk. So I rarely get to see the cover, but let me begin with the cover itself. I went for a clear cover this time, and this is the Midori Codex cover. Okay, I'm repeating this, that it is not the A5 cover from Midori, it is the Midori Codex cover, because I've seen a lot of people still being confused about which cover to buy, and often end up buying the A5 cover for the full year cousin and then feel that it is too tight, and then they struggle to get it a little more loose. So I would just suggest that if you are going for the full year cousin, that is the 12-month book, you have to buy, and you're thinking of a clear cover, you can go for the Midori Codex cover, which I will try to link below. I had got it from Yoseka Stationery, but I'm not sure whether I can find the link. In case I can, I will try to put it down below in the description so you can check that out as well. But what you need to look for is basically the cover they sell for their Codex journals, CODEX. Okay, I think that is what it is called. Because the regular A5 cover actually works for the Hobonichi Cousin Avec, okay, the half-year books. So this is a different cover. As you can see, in fact, this is actually even a little loose over here, in the sense that, not loose, extremely loose, in the sense that if you are someone who stickers up your planner a lot and your planner is likely to bulk up, this cover is great because it can, expand in that sense. But if you go for a plain A5 cover, that will be a bit of a struggle. So I definitely suggest stick to buying this one. This is the safe choice. The other one is good if you are using the Cousin Avec. So now coming to this cover and why I chose it. Last year I used a Hobonichi cover. To be specific, this was the one I used last year, and it's a great cover, but I felt that it was unnecessarily heavy for me because at home I don't need that huge cover with a lot of pockets, because I didn't use a single pocket from that, and that felt to me as a waste of space, and I just avoided buying a cover this year and also using the cover that I had. Instead, I'm using that cover for my office or my work Hobonichi Cousin, and it has been working great. At home, I prefer a simpler cover like this one because I don't really need the pockets or at home, because everything that I need to access, maybe it is a sticker, a sticky note, or some kind of paper or something else, it's all there on my desk within my reach. So I don't really need a lot of pockets in my cover for this planner at home. Now, it is a clear cover, as you can see. It is pretty simple. It can get dirty depending on the situation at home, but you can clean it off easily as well. And the benefit of this cover is that if you want to see, a more decorative aspect, and you find that it is too plain, you can easily just decorate the planner cover, or you can add vellums into the cover and change it out every month to give your planner a fresh look. I do not do that because I barely see my planner cover. It's always open on my desk, and frankly I don't have much interest in doing that. Maybe it will come to me later, but as of this year, no particular interest in that. Now coming to other features of this cover, it has a pen loop, okay, which I do not use, but in case you're interested. And there are no pockets in this cover, which works out great for me. But if you are interested in pockets, you might want to look into other covers. But something else that I did earlier on is that this flap can be used as a pocket. You can just insert your sticker sheets or whatever you want into this flaps as well. So that is something that you could do. After that 1 hour long conversation on covers, let us move on to the actual spreads of this planner. So I've kept it barely simple. I know people decorate these spreads, just didn't have time or energy for it, I guess, this year. So it's barely simple there. This is where I start. Okay, so this is something new that I started this year, which is tracking my income. Now I do this solely because I have multiple sources of income. I had 3 at the beginning of the year, which I have reduced to 2 now because my current work situation has improved, and I've reduced it to 2 now. So what happens is that I don't receive from all the sources at the same time. Sometimes I just receive from one source every month. I don't receive from the other one. So I use this just to track the days I receive it. So I highlight it in green whenever I receive from a certain source. And below that monthly calendar that you see, I just write down the first letter of the source. Okay, as you can see, it's either U or A. There is one more actually. And then I write down the amount that I received. The reason that I write the amount is from one source it is a consistent amount. It is the same every month, so I don't really need to write it down, but I still write it down. The other one is not a fixed amount. It keeps on changing every month. So I see to that I write it down because I need to have a proper track of it in case any need arises. So I've been trying it out this year so far, and I've been enjoying it. I think I'm quite happy with how this turned out, because it's quite simple. There's nothing complicated to it, and it's been working great for me. Now going to the next spread, which is the index. I use it exactly as it is. I use it as an index for my daily spreads. Now in my daily spreads, I journal. To be more specific, I do a lot of memory keeping over there. So what I realized last year is that when I journaled last year and I wanted to find something for my daily spreads, it got really difficult for me because there was a lot written and I couldn't find the specific thing that I wanted to find over there, which I knew I had written but I couldn't find it. So I did this sort of index this year, again something new that I tried this year, where I wrote down something that was prominent or that I felt was significant in that daily spread, and I just transferred it over here. So when I go back to that date, so here I have Aiden's visit, I can just go back and check on that date for more information on that in my daily spreads. Now something to mention over here is the fact that, as you can see, some are quite empty while some are filled out a lot. Now there are 2 reasons for this. The first one is simply because maybe the daily spreads are empty. I have not actually written anything on those days, and that is why it is empty. But more importantly, there is a second reason. There are some daily spreads on which I have just wrote a lot about my emotions, or maybe I have done a recap of the day, but there was nothing significant enough that I probably will need to search for it and come back to it later. So I have not mentioned it over here. So like I said, this is my first attempt. I can tell you how this works, how this worked for me only next year when I start referring to this index. I cannot be a good judge of it at this point, but so far I'm liking it because I update this only roughly at the end of each month. So I have not done the June one yet, even though it's basically done. So yeah, that is that for the index. So let's move on to the next spread, which is the monthly spread. I'm really sorry everyone for the background noise. I do not know what has been going wrong today. It has been raining heavily for so long, and I tried to wait it out, but then I just can't postpone filming this video to another day. So I'm just continuing with the video and I hope that the noise doesn't bother you too much. Okay, so let us begin with the monthly spread. Now, when I speak about monthly spread, it is important to speak about every minor thing over here. So firstly, this is the bookmark that I use. This is from one of the EC seasonal surprise boxes. I assume it will come to site on their site at some point, but as of now it was just in the seasonal surprise box. It is not available elsewhere. And these are used as bookmarks for my monthly, for my weekly, and for my daily. There are 3 different versions of this. This is a plain one that I use for the monthly. I do not use bookmarks or tabs for any of my other spreads. Weirdly, it has been working out great for me. I thought I would need them because I have to flip through a lot. But I guess I don't really need them since I don't go to those spreads a lot every month. For example, the index that I showed you just a moment back, I don't refer to it all the time. So it's just like a once in a month thing. So I am working fine without any tabs, as you can see. I know that many people use a lot of tabs. Weirdly, it has been working great for me without any tabs or too many bookmarks. So I have a total of 3 bookmarks in my planner, considering that I don't use a Hobonichi cover and I don't have any other additional bookmarks as such. Now coming to the monthly, of course every month looks slightly different for me, but which one should I show? Okay, we'll go for a random one. We'll go for this one since it's already completed. So monthlies are a sort of pre-planning spread as well as an overview of the month for me later on for reference as well. So let's go to the pre-planning part first. In the pre-planning part, all I have are the birthdays and anniversaries that fall every month. So what I do is when I set up a Hobonichi Cousin or my planner for the year, so roughly I would say that in November or December of the previous year, I do a basic setup of my planner. And then what I do is in all the monthly spreads, I write down the birthdays and anniversaries that pop up. And for this, what I use is a perpetual calendar from EC. I do not know whether you've seen one before. Let me see whether I can just quickly pick it up. Okay. Yes, I have one over here. So this is a perpetual calendar that you can buy separately from the EC site. I never bought it separately because I got it along with my planner order. And I have, I think, a few of these. So let me see, I think this is this is one that I have not used. This is an extra one, so I'll just show it. This is roughly what it looks like. So you have all 12 months over here and a few additional pages like important contacts, passwords, and that's about it. Okay, so what I do is I have another one of these in which I have wrote down all the important birthdays and anniversaries, and when I set up my cousin around November or December, I refer to this and I transfer them onto the monthly spreads of my cousin. So this is just a one-time use book in a year. After that, I never come to this book. It is just there in my sticker book. In fact, I store it in my sticker book, so this book fits in the sticker book, so that is where it is. So yeah, that is my perpetual calendar, which I find to be very useful. So it is easy for me to update that for the entire year. Now when I do that, what I do every year is I try to highlight the birthdays and events in some or the other way. So every year it's a different method. This year I used these corner stickers that you can see to highlight it. I don't really like it much. Okay, I preferred the circle stickers that I used last year because those circle stickers had sort of a floral design around them and you could see the number clearly despite that, that is the date. And both of them, the circle stickers as well as these corner stickers, they are from Kita and I got them from Yoseika Stationery. I find such stickers to be quite functional and they just pop out, so I can just quickly look at that and see the birthdays and anniversaries that are available for that month. Now I don't write appointments over here. Okay, I don't write any kind of doctor's appointments or such events on the spread. Okay, as of now I don't feel the need to. Maybe later on I will, but at the moment I do not do that. Coming to the next few things that I have on the monthly spread are circle stickers that you see over here. There are quite a number of different types of them. You might not see all the colors on one page, but there are a lot of circle stickers that you will see. These are my favorite type of functional stickers that I use. Now you might feel that, "Oh, isn't it way too many that I'm feeling confused about it?" Surprisingly, no. There are a number of reasons for it. One being that when I set up my planner at the end of the previous year, I make a key for the circle stickers that I use and I attach it to the back of my Hobonichi Cousin. What happens often is that it takes me a maximum of, I would say, about a month to get a hang of the new stickers. But beyond that month, I clearly remember what each sticker indicates for me. Of course, each sticker has a different meaning and I know what it is. Now, every year what I do is I kind of change up the colors because it gives it a fresh look for me and I like to change it up, which also means that I have to try to remember the new colors. But like I said, the maximum it takes for me is a month. Beyond that, I don't really need the key. Now I know what each color indicates. I've not really found it difficult to remember what each of them mean to me. Now, just speaking about the circle stickers, these are from Erin Condren and I'll just show you those stickers in my sticker book. Okay, so these are the stickers. They come in a set of 3. So this is the first sheet that you get, the second sheet, and this is the third sheet. So it comes in a set of 3. I have 2 sets, that is why you can see the same design in 2 sets. So this is the one I currently used and this is just an extra set that I had got. So as you can see, one is always used and the other one is just an extra set. Now I'll just go through the pros and cons of this in case you are interested in these stickers. Con is the fact that there is not much of neutral colors. As you can see, it's more of all bright colors over here and that may be bothersome to some who prefer to be on the more neutral side. Weirdly, I am someone who likes the neutral side, but I'm quite happy with these stickers. There are a number of reasons for that. One being that it is affordable. I tend to buy it during a sale and I don't remember the exact price now, but I know that I got it at a very low price and the amount that I'm getting for the price. 3 sticker sheets with a lot of variety of colors, which makes me quite happy because I've gone to other sites and they have these small sticker sheets with a limited type of colors, and then they're very expensive as well. And secondly, what I've realized is the fact that on these monthly spreads, I prefer to have these bright colors. I want them to stand out instead of merging in with the spread. So I'm kind of happy with these bright colors even though they are not on the neutral side. So I kind of like this. I am pretty sure that these 2 sets of sticker sheets that I have will last me a very long time, that I don't have to go on and repeatedly buy them again and again. Another thing that I do is I try to shift between the colors that I use, even if they are maybe colors that I don't really like as such. Okay, so for example, whenever I set up for a new year, I try to bring up a new set of colors. It takes me a little time to remember them, the new set of colors, but I still try to use up everything instead of just letting them go to waste as such. Now over here, what these stickers indicate are different things. For example, red is generally periods for me. That does not change every year. I prefer to stick to that color. Green is a church event that takes place. This is also a different church event. Like I said, I know what each one indicates. I do have a key at the back of my planner in case I need that for reference. Maybe later on when I refer to this book next year, I might not remember what that sticker was meant for. So I always have the key at the back, which I will not remove. It will stay over there. And of course there are also these smaller circle stickers. While these are see-through, you can see the date. These are not. These I don't remember the exact company it was from, but I got it from Yoseka Stationery. And from what I remember, these also came in a very big set. There were many stickers, but I don't really like them, okay, in the sense that there are no heavy cons as such. It is just that I don't have a particular preference for them. So once they get over, I don't see myself really going to buy them any longer. But in case you like them, they come in generally a set of these 3 colors for the neutral side. They also have bright color options if I'm not mistaken, and there are different sizes as well. There are medium, larger circles as well. I will try to show you those ones as I come to the end of the planner, because it is there in my book, so I will be able to show you that as well. Now these are used for bills, okay, different categories of bills, so each color means something else for me. And what I do is I place them on the days that I have paid the bill, so it is not a deadline for me, the deadline is some other day. I just put it down on the days that I have paid the bill, and that is about it. Okay, so these stickers all are very much functional for me, okay, and I find them to be space saving and works great for me, so I just continue with them instead of using maybe a highlighter or something else for these. Okay, so I don't have to write much, I already know what they indicate as such. Nevertheless, if you have any questions regarding this, please feel to ask me as such. Now going on to the next thing on the monthly spreads are things that I've written down. Now additional things that I write down over here are really significant things that have happened that month. So for example, if I've taken a trip, okay, or there was a wedding or some significant event that has happened that month or in that day. Now as you can see here, I have taken about a 1 week something trip, and I have mentioned it over here. And what I do is each day I just write something specific to that day. So this was the day we took the train, when we reached, and what was the thing that we went for. We went for a VBS, and then yes, coming back home as well. I have mentioned it so that I know what happened on that specific day, and if I want to see that in detail, I just can go back to the daily page and read what happened that day to get a recap of that day. So as a quick overview, if I refer to my monthly spread, I know what has happened that day. I don't really have to go through the daily pages and flip through all of it to find what has happened in that month. So the month should give me an overview for me to refer to later. So it is not only pre-planning for me, this works as a complete overview when I need to just come back to this month and see what happened that month, significant things that happened that month. Now the next thing I have over here is social media. So as far as social media is concerned, what I do is I don't buy the icon stickers. I know you get pretty icon stickers online. Instead, what I do is I just draw them out. I am bad at it. I know I am bad at it, but I still do it. So on the days I upload to YouTube, I do this, and then on Instagram. And at the end of the month, I update the number of followers or subscribers I have. This was not something I used to do earlier, but I'm doing this now just because I want to, have, how do you say it, I just want to be aware of how regularly I upload affects my subscribers as such. Okay, because I was quite bad this month, and that is why my subscriber count is not great. It has more or less remained the same as the previous month, and I understand that because I was not very consistent with the work that I was doing. So it is fine. So this is something that happens and I need to be aware of it, so I thought I would just do that. I think I've covered just about everything. Okay, now the only decoration as such that I've done is this washi that I've used over here. This is from MT and again from Yoseka Stationery. Now I used it to cover up the days that are not there, and I've already done this for all 12 months again when I set this up in December or November of the previous year. Now this is one little craze I have, in the sense that I'm not really a washi person as of right now, in the sense that initially when these were very popular, I was totally into it. I wanted to buy a lot of them, but then I noticed that I was not really using them. So I have this box of Archer and Olive in which I've stored my washi, and it is just there. If you see my spreads later on, you will see that I've barely used any washi anyway and anywhere as such, so waste of money. So I just stopped buying them. But what I do, what I still do, which is a little bit of a splurge, but I still do, is that every year when I buy the stationery for next year, which is once a year thing, I see to that I buy at least one washi tape to do this. I know it's a silly thing. I don't want to repeat the washi next year. So I see to that I just get one washi that I love from whichever site I get it, and I use it for all the 12 months to just cover up the days that are not there. That is something weird that I do, and I know that I don't use the washi later, but I still end up buying one roll as such. But what I try to do now is, with the previous ones that I own, in case you're interested, I either pass it on to someone completely, or sometimes if I really like it, I just remove. remove it, as in give some of those on those washi strips that you get, and just pass it on to whoever likes it. Or what I also do is use it to pack my gifts, okay, because it looks a lot more prettier than those plain clear tapes that we use. So I try to use it in some way or the other, but frankly I don't use much of washi in my planners and journals. And yeah, that's that. Okay, so going ahead to the next thing, something that I used to do earlier, which I wanted to do this year but I didn't do, is just write down the month in huge, in the sense that I wanted to use some sort of a sticker to write down May, Jan, whichever month it is, in huge block letters, simply because I find that this is very small, and instead of just having this, I would have preferred the actual month to be standing out and on that spread as such. But weirdly I ended up not doing it. As of right now I find that it doesn't bother me, but I think that is something that I would like to pick up next year, and if I find something good I would probably do that. I don't have any talent in calligraphy or have a good handwriting, so I didn't bother doing that myself. I just left it blank as of now, and I don't think I will do it this year now, but maybe another time. So let us go to the next spread without wasting any time. The next thing that I have is the weekly spread. Oh, did I forget something? I don't think you're interested in this, but I'll just show you. For the extra months that are there, like in 2023 and such, these were washi that were, I believe, getting over, and I just this one was from EC. I really loved this one despite it being gold, and since it was getting over, I just pasted it over here for no other reason than just to fill up the spreads as such. I didn't find any function for these spreads because I never use anything beyond the exact 12 months that are there in the planner. I don't do any pre-planning for next year in my current planner, so I just did this on the spreads that I don't use. I have some at the beginning also, I think. Let's see. Yes. See, I used some stickers over here as well. Extra spreads that were there. I just didn't use them. Okay. So that's about that. Now let's go to my weekly. And see, I don't find that it's a huge crime that I've done that, simply because the pages that I use them effectively, and the other ones I don't want to try to force myself to use them. I might as well decorate them for fun if I feel like it. So that's what I've been doing. Coming to the weekly spread. Okay, now this is a recent one. I'll just go quickly through it. It has more or less stayed consistent so far for 6 months. There has been one minor change that I will mention, otherwise my system has been more or less the same thing. So let's begin. Now on the left hand side, this bar is entirely a habit tracker. So I have a few things: hair care, skincare, vitamins, sleep, and the top section is water, a water tracker as such. This is from Hobonichi, from the yellow stencil, I believe, and on the stencil it means it is said to be sad, a sign for sad. I do not know why, but maybe as tears, I don't know. I use it as a water tracker over here. Now let's just go through them quickly. Here it's a simple one. It's either tick or cross depending on whether I've done it or not. And here what I do is, on here I have the hours mentioned, 10 to 7, okay, roughly the time I sleep around, and these are the days. I track the amount of sleep that I've had, the exact time, when I go to bed and when I wake up, and the amount of hours I have managed to complete sleeping. So Monday was quite bad. It was just 3 hours of sleep. Other days were pretty much good, okay, as you can see. So why I like to do all of this on my weekly spreads is simply because I prefer to get a weekly update on how I've been with routines in my life or things that are good for me. I prefer to do those on a weekly basis rather than check in on a monthly basis. Okay, so as I see things each month, I try to improve them every week, okay, or work on them instead of just seeing one for the entire month and just feeling stressed out over it. And here what I do is I fill up as required depending on the bottles of water I have had that day. Now moving on to the next thing. So what I have done is I have divided this entire spread into 3 parts. As you can see, I do not use the timeline on the weekly spreads because it would be pointless for me, because my day is more or less repetitive and I feel that it would redundant sort of. I just realized, is this camera too far for you to see what is written? I usually try to put it as close as possible, but I think this is a little far this time. Just let me know next time if you want it a lot more closer so that you can see what is written. Anyway, now coming back to the next thing. On the top section, I have something called me time, so I will begin with that. Me time can change from person to person. What I have over there is what I like doing. For example, reading books, reading my Bible, watching things. It could be videos on YouTube or movies, TV shows. Now, watching things, just to be clear, this is not about random watching, it is specific to language learning. That is the major change that happened in this section in this year. For about, I think, 5 months from Jan to May, one of the things that I had here was the YouTube channel videos that I was watching in relation to language learning. I decided to remove it in the month of June, and instead I have replaced it with Bible reading for that day. Now, just to explain this a little further, the reason that I removed that is because I found that I used to watch the video whether I'd written it or not. So it used to take up a lot of space. I didn't feel really the need to keep on writing that. So this month I have removed it. Let me see whether language learning will go fine without me writing it. I probably will not add it if I don't feel the need to. If I have to, maybe I will just try to squeeze it in somewhere and see how that works out for me. And secondly, what happened is, if you have seen my second quarter update video, you might have noticed that I mentioned that I have dropped one of my planners, that is my church planner and journal. So usually this part used to come in that book, and since I have dropped it, I need to have it somewhere, which is here. I've decided to add it over here. Now, how this helps me? This is a specific type of Bible reading. Okay, so I have different types in the sense that in a day I read it multiple times. I read the Bible multiple times, and certain readings are in such a way that I read as much as I want to, depending on the situation at that point of time. Okay, but this reading is specific in the sense that every year I try to read the Bible in a different way. So last year I read it in chronological order. This year this is based on the themes of the Bible, and I get all these reading plans online. Okay, so it is available online, but instead of having to go there and check every day, I prefer to have this on a weekly basis over here. So what I do is, when I set up the week on the previous Sunday, I set this entire thing for the week. So it's not on a day-to-day basis. I've already written this down for the whole week as such. And how this helps me is, this is open on my desk. When I go to read, I just have to look over here, read that section, and I'm done with that thematic reading for the day. So yeah, this really helps me out. I've been liking it. This is something I used to do last year. I just brought it back again now, since I've removed the language learning part from my me time. So I will see how this works further on this year. I think it should work good, because it was something that I enjoyed doing last year as such. Now, the other thing that I have on top, if you can see over here, is the book that I'm reading that month or that week. Now what I do is, I write the first letter of the book right on top, and below it I update it on a daily basis with the number of pages that I read on that specific day. Of course, there are some days, as you can see, I have skipped on that. It is not necessary that I have to read every day. Obviously, it would be good if I do that, but I know that I don't do it at times, and that is why you can see it's not there on a daily basis as such. Okay, so that is the top section. What I've done is dividing it always at 12. So this is a matter of, setting up this on Sundays is a matter of just a few minutes for me. I would say the maximum it would take me is 15 minutes. Okay, and that is exaggerating. It does not take me 15 minutes. It goes pretty quickly, since it is the same setup for me every week. Now I do this dotted lines at the 12 timeline. Same over here at the bottom as well. Generally, some days it changes a little bit, which is very rare, but otherwise it's more or less on the same time as well, the same part where I divide as such. Now the second section is pretty simple. It is my to-do list. Okay, so again, some things repeat every week, so I can prep it up based on that on the previous Sunday. So some things I already prep up for the entire week, while other things are added on a day-to-day basis, and as and how I do it, I tick off or put a cross whether I've done it or not. Now at the bottom section, what I have over here is events. Okay, I'm an introvert, I rarely go out, but you are likely to see a lot of events on my spreads for solely one reason. I'm part of a church committee and there are events that take place every week, and I need to have a record of that for the report that I write at the end of the year. Not that I attend all of these events, I cannot. Okay, I attend some of them, I cannot. I attend generally at least 2 of them. The rest I need to write it down so that I can refer back to this later. Sometimes the location is different or the time is different. I need to be aware of that. That is the only reason it's coming up over here. Not that I actually attend all these events as such. As of otherwise, you are not likely to find other events come up over here because I am not that socializing kind of person. I prefer to stay at home. So even if there are events, I tend to not go for it on a most of the time. Okay, most of the time I just don't go for it. In rare cases I do go, I just mention it over here. Okay, so that I'm aware of that event taking place over here. So that is my weekly spread, and as you can see, it's largely a pen only spread. Not largely, it is completely a pen only spread. There were some weeks, if you have seen my flip through videos, where I've used stickers just because I had those stickers and I wanted to use them up, not because I really needed them over here. Now I try not to use stickers over here. For one reason is that I need a lot of the space. Some weeks there are spaces left open, some weeks it's completely filled up that I don't have any space for anything. And another issue is that I can't place stickers beforehand. Once I place it later on, for example over here or here, it's roughly the same location the sticker is at, and that part of the book starts to bulk up, which I don't like. So I just avoided stickers on these spreads, and I'm not really into even functional stickers on these spreads. So I just don't have the time or energy for that, and I've just skipped that over here. Now another thing I'd like to mention at this point, since it's a pen only spread, is that this is the pen that I use in my Hobonichi. I'm not sure whether it's even picking up. Okay, this is yes, okay, this is the Erin Condren. Okay, this is the Erin Condren black marker pen. Okay, it has 2 sides to it if you have already seen it. One is a fine tip, one is a medium tip. Okay, so I'll just open it up. This is the medium tip. Okay, it's probably blurred, and this is the fine tip with which I write most of it. Okay, the medium tip is what I use for the titles. Okay, otherwise it's largely the fine tip that I use. Now why I like this? Okay, if you look at this page, I don't know whether you can see any mistakes. There is not much of a smearing issue. Okay, for me this is fine. I don't have issues with minor smearing things that appear here and there. Frankly, as you can see, there is not much of a smearing issue. I think the only place it came is for the habit trackers when I was just doing the stencil quickly. As of otherwise, not a smearing issue over here. Clearly there are no bleed through issues also. Okay, of course there is a little bit of ghosting, as you can see, which does not bother me. After all, it is the TRP paper, which is quite thin. I love this pen mainly because of the fact that it has both the tips, and I can survive with just this one pen for my entire spread by writing the titles as well as regular writing as well. And it is affordable in the sense that I buy this in that set of 3 which it comes in for sale during sale time, and it works great for me in the sense that I think I can survive with 3 pens for the entire year. So this is my second pen. I've still not used the third pen. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to manage with the same set for the entire year as such. Just to be clear, I don't use this pen anywhere else. It is just in this Hobonichi Cousin that I use the pen. So 3 pens in 1 year is fine for me since I just buy that one set. I know that I get it at a very low price. I just can't remember how much it is. I think the full price is around $10 for the 3 pen set. Okay, that is the full price. Obviously, if you're getting it during a sale, it will be probably even less. Okay, and it looks pretty cool too, so that also is good. So that is regarding the pen. The next thing that I want to mention, an accessory that I use, is this. This is a whiteout from Tombow. Okay, this is the only whiteout that I use in the Cousin. Again, I do not know how much mistakes you can pick up on the camera. Okay, but I've used the whiteout. Let me show you. Yes, around here. Okay, I had actually written the book over here, then I cancelled it out. I don't know how much you can. pick up on camera as such, but I've also used it over here. What I like about this is almost, I would say, the exact color as the paper in the Hobonichi Cousin. I would not recommend it for the Hobonichi Weeks because it has paper which is more on the yellow side. I have tried it out over there and it looks odd. Of course, you can use it if it's not that much of a huge issue for you. But this I found is the exact color for the Cousin, which is on the whiter side, but at the same time not too bright. There are notebooks like Archer and Olive which are extremely bright, and I would not recommend this because this is a sort of, I would say, off-white creamy color, okay, like the paper in the Hobonichi Cousin. I don't know the exact color, but it suits, okay, it just suits, and it lasts a long while as well. It is easier to find also. You can find it on Amazon, and I tend to buy it in bulk so that it lasts me for a long time, okay, and it's not very expensive. So yes, good recommendation, I would say. But at the same time, if you have any other suggestions which you feel would work better on the Cousin, please put it down below, and I would love to learn about them and explore them as well. So these two, my favorites for the Cousin. A little bit of an odd choice, but something that I love. So I hope you enjoy it as well. The next spread that I cannot show you but will talk about quickly is the Turning the Page to a New Year spread. So that is a 2-page blank spread which I use to write down my goals for the year, and I don't need both the pages, one side is enough for me. But what I do is I just decorate it out, okay, use the opportunity and do a little bit of a decoration over there. And yeah, that is about it on that page. I tick off the goals as needed depending on whether I complete midway through the year or at the end of the year, and cross off and just migrate it to next year if required as such. I wouldn't say that is a very effective method for me. It is just there. I won't say it is great because what happens is I tend to not refer to that page at all, which is something that I have to mention at this point. But yes, that is what I've done with that spread for this year. Now going into the next thing, which is my daily spreads. Okay. Now I just kept it over here. Oh, I didn't show you this. So for this is what I have for the weekly spreads, which I think is perfect because it is my to-do section. And this is what I have for the daily spreads, which is today for me. I just keep it on the day that I'm writing it on. So yeah, I think these are amazing bookmarks. My only issue with them is the fact that they leave marks on the spread, okay, which I guess is not a big deal because it goes later once you remove it from that page, but I don't really like that. And I used to use the Midori ones earlier, the smaller Midori ones, okay, but I found them to be too small, okay, that is why I went for this. And that also, these have 3 different colors which with the exact title that I like. So yeah, I'm going to continue this for this year, but I'm not sure whether I will use it next year or not. We will see that. Now coming to the daily spreads. Every daily spread begins with a dashboard page. Okay, so this is Jan. I will show you the other spreads also, random ones. What I do with the dashboard page is not at all functional. Okay, sorry for that. What I do over here is simply write down quotes, things that I liked, and just, juice it up with some washi or some stickers. That is just about it. Whatever I feel like doing for that month, that's about it. Okay, so it is not extremely functional, and I kept it that way simply because I felt that this page was connected to the journaling pages, so I didn't want any planning to come over there. Instead, I thought something fun that I can read back on later when I do a flip through, and I hope something that you all also can enjoy when I do a flip through on YouTube as well. And what I often try to do over here, maybe not this month, I try to keep the quotes or whatever I write connected to each other. So for one of the months I had something related to planning. So all the 3 quotes that I had written were related to planning. And then I just do some things in addition if I feel like I have the time for it. Always it's not on the more complicated artistic style because I have no such talent. I keep it minimal, and maybe it doesn't look great, but I enjoy looking back at it and I have fun with it. Now coming back to the daily spreads. Daily spreads are where I memory keep. So I journal a lot on some days. Don't get, don't think this is a wonderful spread and this is how it goes through through my entire planner. I'll show you later that many of my spreads are quite empty. This was one of those days where I'd actually completed the whole spread. Okay, so some days I fill it up entirely, some days I don't, and I write very small for this. Truthfully, my handwriting is actually quite big. I write purposely, I try to write small for this spread as such, just for it to fit in at times, because sometimes I need a lot more space and I like it to be consistent. So even on the days that I don't write, I don't go and write it in huge letters. I keep it small as well. Now, as far as the daily pages are concerned, this is where my non-existent artistic talents attempt to make an appearance. Okay, I really don't have any creative talent as such, but I'd like to have some stickers on my daily pages. I'll just show you them first. So this is my second sticker book. I have only 2 sticker books. This is the second one. In my sticker books, you will find a lot of things other than stickers, like stencils, perpetual calendars and such. Okay, because I have a lot of blank space in that, and I just want everything to be found in these 2 sticker books instead of looking for them elsewhere. So this is from MU. The sticker book itself, if I'm not mistaken, is from MU. I think that is how you say the brand. And I would like to just speak about the pros and cons of using this before going ahead. Firstly, this doesn't bulk up your planner at all. Okay, let me just show you. I'm holding my finger over here, but see, if you look at the pages, okay, these are the months that I've already used up. Okay, till about here, I would say, in the daily pages. It doesn't affect your planner much in terms of bulking it up. If that is something that interests you, you might want to consider these stickers, because they are literally flat. Okay, they are so flat, they are not affect your pages by bulking them up a lot. Last year, if you've seen my flip through video of my 2021 Hobonichi Cousin, you will see that my planner is quite big because of the stickers, washi, any other inserts that I've added in. I liked that as well, but it gets a little difficult towards the end of the year to write in, and I liked it last year when I did that, but I just decided to go for this year entirely. Okay, so what I did is I just order once. Okay, just to be clear, I order only once in a year for next year's planning system. So when I ordered last year from Yoseka Stationery, I got stickers for the entire 12 months. Okay, I do not know whether I have the exact amount now, but I think when I made the plan to order, I had done an order for the entire 12 months. So 12 months worth of stickers, in the sense that generally, like I said, in a sticker sheet you get in a sticker set you get 2 sheets. So this and this. So I got around, if I got the exact number, it should be 12 sticker sets that I've got. I don't really remember now. And I find that there are a lot of stickers. This is roughly, I think it's an A6 size book. So A6 size sticker sheet as well. So I would say that there are a lot of stickers. Of course, they are smaller. I prefer this over larger stickers because in some shops, I like the designs a lot. But when I see the sticker sheets, one single sticker sheet is quite expensive. And they have about probably maybe like 4 large stickers on it, and see, I can use 4 large stickers separately on 4 daily pages and I'm done. That is a loss for me. I prefer this because with one sticker set I can use it for the entire month, multiple stickers sometimes on the same spread, and my entire month is done. So I find this affordable. You get a lot of stickers, it doesn't bulk up your planner, and that is why I prefer this one. Of course, I would say it's a little bit of more work in terms of the fact that what you do is you kind of have to rub it in. If you've seen my plan with me video, you can see how I do that. If you're interested in watching how I lay down stickers or set up for a new month, okay, you can check out my plan with me video. But it's not a big deal for me. Okay, it's not a big deal for me. Somewhere in the previous month when I have time, I just set up the entire month. That is something I'd like to mention. I set up the entire month with stickers in the previous month. So for July, for example, I will set it up in June, not on a decided date, when I feel that I have time for it. There is a fly over here and it's irritating me. Okay, why am I talking about that? Coming back to the topic at hand. Okay, so I randomly place stickers for the entire month, wherever possible. I know that most days I don't fill up the entire page, so it's okay no matter where I place it on the spread. Okay, it doesn't matter to me much. Now this is one of those days where I completely filled it, but I'll just do a quick flip through on random pages to show you how it comes across. Okay. See, there are a lot of blank spaces. I've just written in the top section, an entire blank page. And I think Jan was one of those months where I wrote a lot. So if you come to later months, let me show you some other months where I've not written at all. See, this is the month of April, I think. You will see a lot of blank pages over here. Beautiful stickers, but I've left it blank. See, I left it completely blank. And this is what I meant by there are a lot of stickers. This is just from one sticker set, and I can cover up the entire month with that. Okay. Now what I also do is, I'll just mention over here, I highlight a topic. Okay. Because sometimes, see, over here, as you can see, I've written a lot. It is difficult to find what I've written about when I come back to it later. So this is something that I've started doing, where I highlight a topic by using the medium side of my pen, okay, so that it stands out. And often what happens is this topic is what comes in the index at the beginning of the Hobonichi Cousin as well. So it's easier for me to find out what I have written about in that huge, if I've written a very long, recap, it's easy for me to find out such things. Okay, I just got cut off. But yes, that is just about it for the daily pages, and I don't bother covering these things up, okay, because at some point, see, it stops bothering you. I think last year I used to try to cover it with washi, but this year I've just ignored all of that as such. In case something was confusing or not clear for you, just let me know. Now we'll go to the last thing. This is my to be read section or my library. Like I said, I don't have any creative talents or know anything about aesthetics as such. So what I do is whatever I can. This is empty washi tape. I just sort of try to make a library over here. And then here as well, what I've done is something simple. I'll go through it. See, last year I tried to keep it minimal. I just had a table for this, okay, where I wrote the book and a few other things that were important as such. But the thing is, I realized that some things, when it comes to planning, I like it to be fun as well as functional. Not some, in fact, my entire planning. I know planning needs to be functional, but at some point I need it to be fun also. Otherwise, it is too stressful for me. I like to enjoy it, and that is why I've done this. Last year it was a simple table, but this year I've actually gone for the images. I just did it on some cheap paper. I just printed out the cover, so it's not great quality. And I know it doesn't look as pretty as how when some people do as those mini small book covers as such. I preferred this because I wanted to just divide the page in four, as you can see, and then write a few things about the book below it. I'll just go through what I've done. Under the book that I've read, I have given my ratings for it. Again, this is from the Hobonichi stencil. Below it, I've sort of got this bar. I don't exactly remember where I got the idea for the bar from, but someone talked about it in my last video, that it's probably from a game where in video games you get to see sort of this bar. Maybe it is from, I don't remember. So I fill in as required depending on how I completed. See, this is one of the books that I didn't complete, and I have also written down the number of pages next to it. Okay, below that I have the category, the genre of book, romance, whether I read an ebook, audible, or was it a physical book, and of course the month that I read books in. As you can see, some months I read about 4 books, some months are not even there, like in Feb I didn't even read a single book. So see, book reading goals are different for different people. I have lost my touch with reading. I used to read a lot, and I'm trying to get back to it over these years. I think I'm slowly getting back over there. For me, even reading this much means a big deal, because I just don't read much these days. And this is what goes on all the notes pages, okay? This is my entire to be read list. I tried not to give a very huge list for myself, because then I find it difficult to complete. In case I want to add anything, I'll just probably tip in some page or make more spreads for that as required. But as of now, I did not go beyond the notes pages of the Hobonichi Cousin. Okay, so this is where I've stopped with. As you can see, 4 pages were per spread, as 4 books per page as such. Okay, So about 8 on a 2-page spread. So I have exactly 20 books for the year 2022. Now moving on to the next thing, I don't use any of these pages at the back. I know some people use the top 100, my 100 or top 100, the timetable and such. I don't. This I kept as a memory for the freebie that came this year, which is the spoon. Then what do I have? These were the stickers that I told you I will show you later. The circle stickers, like I said, they come in different sizes, big, huge sizes, and I put them on with the same stickers as you can see over here. This makes it easily accessible. I don't have to look for it elsewhere. Frankly, I rarely use these. These were from last year. I just transferred them over here. I think I've not even touched them this year. I'll probably not continue them next year. This is my key to those circle stickers, so I have so many of them. These are the smaller ones which I've used a lot. I replace them in case I ever finish them up. I think yes, that's about it, and I have, I believe, covered everything when it comes to my Hobonichi Cousin. In case there is something more you'd like to know, please let me know, and I would love to hear from you as well. Like I mentioned, no matter which planner you use, I would like to hear about how you have been using your planner, the different spreads this year, be it monthly, weekly, daily, or a bullet journal, or whatever type of planning that you do. So let's chat soon. Bye, and see you in the next video.